Hello YouTube, Captain Mac here, and welcome back to the life of a virtual airline pilot. The series which began it all way back when. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are new to the channel, the life of a virtual airline pilot was the original series that started the Captain Mac channel. Aren't you glad you have that little bit of history? Okay, today we're going to be flying from KPAE, which is where we flew in last time, from Juneau, Alaska. We flew down here. We're going to be flying from here out to KMFR, I believe it is. Yeah, KMFR, which I think is in Oregon. I didn't really check. And we're going to be continuing our 737 US tour for Mac Air. If you're unfamiliar with what Mac Air is, it is a virtual airline that I started. Well, it's been a little over 4 years now. It's completely different than any other virtual airline out there, so check it out at macairvirtual.com. Okay, there's your promo. Moving on. And I think that's the gist of all we got to do out here. Now, to me, I keep recording this over and over again because I had a problem on my speakers this morning, and it took me like 2 hours to get everything squared away, and now every time I record, I sound different. Now, it could just be my speakers. Don't really know. So you guys tell me if it sounds alright. I hope it does, because I'm going to press on with this. Okay? Alright, what do you say we climb in the office here and get this party started? Alrighty folks, welcome aboard the flight deck here. We are going to dive right in. Starting with our flight planning and dispatch. The flight plan has been obtained and filed. We will go over that here in just a little bit. I think I got a specific spot for that, don't I? Maybe not. Packs, fuel. No. That's right. We're good. Passengers and cargo weights are set. Fuel is calculated and ordered. We've obtained the weather briefing and NOTAMs, and we have our charts ready for use. So fantastic. Moving into aircraft acceptance. The exterior inspection is good. Fuel is loaded and verified. Doors and stairs are ready for boarding, and they should be boarding now, I think. Boarding passengers now. Alrighty. Good stuff. Just checking GSX there. Okay, so that moves into our cockpit acceptance checklist. Okay, I think I got it there. Starting with the parking brake is set, which it is right down there. Battery is on. We wouldn't have any power on the aircraft if it wasn't. We are running on ground power right now. Electric hydraulic pumps are off. That's these two in the middle, which they are. Landing gear is down. If it wasn't, our view would look substantially different out the front windscreen there. So I'm pretty sure the landing gear is down. Start levers should be in the cutoff position. It says idle then cutoff. I don't know why, but I'm just going to leave them in cutoff. That's what I always do. Overhead fuel valve lights should be illuminated. Coughing in your face. Good stuff. And ground power is on. Fantastic. We do need to test the fire warning system. That's the wrong panel for that. We want to come back here. If you're going to left click, it's good. When you right click, it should make some noise. Hey, look at that. I think you're going to do the same thing to this one, only you don't get any noise out of this one. Left click and right click, you get the lights, and you're good to go. Emergency exits are armed. That is this guy right here. That's the emergency exit light, so I'm assuming that arms the emergency exits too. I could be wrong. Somebody let me know. Signs do both need to be on. That's back up here as well. Left click both of those. Let the attendant know that they can get on with the program. I don't hear anybody boarding. They should be boarding already, but I don't hear them for some reason. Recirc fans, auto. We'll just jump up top here. Brain just went blank. Recirc fan. It was auto already. And then engine bleeds need to be off. That's these two down here. They were on. And commence passenger boarding, which we've already done. Alrighty, that's going to take us on to our overhead setup. I'm skipping the APU start section because I'm not going to start the APU until we're ready for pushback. That's just the way I'm going to do this. So jumping right back up top. Hold on, I'm going to cough in your face again. There we go. Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay, so the first things first, we're checking our flight control panel. Yaw damper needs to go on. It's not going to stay on. And there it goes. Proving me right. Fuel system panel, fuel pumps on as required. We don't need any on quite yet. Let's see, cabin utility and IFE passenger, good to go. What else? Electrical panel, equipment cooling, normal, and lights off, which it is. Window heat on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fantastic. Probe heat stays off right now. Anti-ice stays off right now. Hydraulics panel is system A and B switches on. So that's both of these now. Fantastic. Is that? Yeah, the electric hydraulic pump's got to come on too, right? Now, does that do anything for the yaw damper? No, it does not. Okay, moving on. Electric low pressure lights need to go off, which they have. Air conditioning panel. We're going to check this bad boy. Left pack, right pack both need to go to auto. Left and right packs both on auto. Isolation valve should be in the open position, which is all the way down, and it is. And pressurization panel, flight altitude set for cruise. Now the sound goes out when I switch windows on this one. I cannot seem to get it to do otherwise. But anyway, moving on. I just want to double check my cruise altitude. Yep, it's 350. I was just making sure. So we're going to put this at 350. There's 350, and then our landing altitude is 1,335 feet-ish. So we are going to put this guy around 1,300 feet, right? We'll put it 1,350. How's that? What else? Exterior lighting as required. We do have power on the aircraft, so I believe anti-collision lights will work on this one. Is it anti-collision lights or is it the wing lights? You know, I just don't know. I do know you're not supposed to turn strobe lights on until you get on the runway. Thanks, Alex. Moving on. Ignition both left and right, or ignition left or right. So this one here, you can put it on both left or right. We're going to leave it on left. And that takes care of our overhead panel setup. Yeah, I think the recording sound issues really just kind of drive me nuts. I hope it does not sound terrible for you guys. I really, really hope that, because I think it's just my speakers that's making it sound so bad. But I'm also trying not to shout into the microphone because it sounds a little muffled to me. And I can't find like an equalizer setting or whatever for my speakers that seems to be helping. So that's awesome. Anyway, we're going to take care of our FMC initialization next. And to do that, the first thing we need to do is hop all the way up to the upper panel. You're going to right click both of these bad boys to nav, wait until the white align light lights up. There it is on one, there it is on two, and left click them back to align, and then we'll hop all the way back down here to our FMC initialization. Let me get my speed brake out of the way. I think it's just this view, that's really what it is. I think we should be, I think the 747 really does it best. Let's try and move this view a little bit. It's still kind of in the way there, isn't it? I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is better. Okay, just move the speed brake out of the way. Okay, let's go menu, FMC, position initialization. We are at KPAE, right there. And what gate are we at? We're at gate 2, I think. You know what? I'm not going to put the gate in. I'm not going to risk it. Go to the next page. Make sure that these match this. I've never really done that before. 4754, 12216. They don't have to match it exactly. They just have to be close. 4754, 12216. All right? Because I made that mistake when I did a tutorial flight on that King Air 350. That was not pretty. Okay. That takes care of the alignment of the IRS. They will start their alignment process right now, and we can move on. Nav data is up to date. I think we did that already, right? Let's go index, ident. Yep, we're on the proper air cycle. Position initialization is taken care of. So let's take care of our route here. KPAE. We're going to put it in manually. Oh, it's already in there. Don't you love it? It does that to me, and I always forget. To KMFR. And there is no departure or arrival for our flight today. The flight number is going to be 111. It's ASA 111. Sorry, coughing in your face again. All right, there we go. And then next page. And on departure, sorry, it's going to go quiet for a second. I wish I could fix that. We're going to be taking runway 34 left. So let's go departure arrival. There are departures here, even though they're not showing up in here. But we're taking 34 left. Back to route. Direct to Seattle, Seattle VOR, which will make sense, really, for the most part. And then from there, it's J70 is our airway. If I can find the J. Where's the J? There we go. J70. We're taking that to Elma, E-L-M-A-A. E-L-M. No, I'm not even going to do it. I can't sing. J589. J589. And we're going to take that to CVO. CVO. There we go. And then that'll take us into the airport from there. And again, there won't be an arrival either. So that's just the way this flight plan's set up. So easy days. Performance initialization. Gross weight. Click it once. No, it's 0 fuel weight. Click it once, click it twice, and it puts the gross weight in there too. Reserves are going to be, let me see. Final reserve fuel is 2,084, so we'll just put it at 2. Cost index is going to be 85, I think. This put the cost index as 5. That's not going to happen. I'll have to change that later. And flight level 350. I apologize if the sound cuts out every time I switch windows. I don't like it. And I'm sure you don't either. Okay, that takes care of that. It's going to be a, we're not super heavy. We're not really heavy at all. So takeoff 1 and climb 2. Yeah, I like that. Takeoff will be flaps 5. Should be good on that. Maybe. There we go. Center of gravity, put it in there. 25.5%. V1 125, VR 127, and V2 134. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes care of the FMC initialization. Alrighty, folks, that's going to move us into the main panel setup. Now, before we actually dive into this, I'm going to hop all the way back up to this upper panel. They should be done with their alignment, so right-click them to nav. Look at that. You get some pretty numbers up there, and if we come down here, hey, everything's working. That's fantastic. Okay, first things first, we're going to set up our minimums. We're going to just put them at 200 feet, excuse me, on the radio altimeter. So 200 feet. Come on, scroll. There we go, 200 feet, fantastic. Flight path vector, that is this guy here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can put this stuff on. We're not doing that. We're sticking with this. Altimeter needs to be set local, which is 3018. Yep, inches of mercury, 3018. That's too far. There we go, 3018. And that looks wrong now, doesn't it? But it's not. I hit the B key and it stayed right there. So, 3018 it is. Mode selector on map, which it is. Center switch as desired. So, center switch is what I was clicking, so that's obviously not the flight path vector. I don't know what it means by that. How do I not understand some of this stuff? You'd think I'd know by now. I know somebody's saying that. They're like, you'd think you'd know. Anyway, moving on. Range selector as desired. Setting up the MCP, we don't need to set up, well, we could set up our inbound course for the Seattle VOR. And if I just pull that up over here, so it would be, where you at? I don't know. Maybe it's on this page. Ah, yeah, there we go. To Seattle VR 249. So we could put that in the course 249. There we go. Got the course set up. You know what? I'm just going to start going through this because we're taking forever. Flight directors need to come on. Auto throttle needs to come on. Indicated airspeed needs to set to V2 plus 5, which is 139. That's too far. Let's see, runway or heading to runway mode, which should be saying 359 over here, but I'm not buying that. KPAE runway 34 left is 343 degrees. That seems a little more like it. 343. And since we don't have any departures, we'll just take this right on up to 35,000 or flight level 350 for those of you who want to be technical about it. Come on up. Come on. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So that takes care of auto throttle, heading, altitude, autopilots, PFD. Auto brake needs to go to RTO. Right in front of my face. I've been flying so many aircraft lately. Engine instruments are good. Radios, we're not messing with those right now. We do need to take care of the TCAS really quick. So if we hop back here, we can take the TCAS. We can set it to 2336 just like I always do. Come on. There we go. And then we'll test it. You can see it's going through its test now. Thrust levers are in the idle position, engine start levers are in the cutoff position, and stab trim needs to be set, or stabilizer trim really. 5.21 is what they're looking for. What do we got? We need to go up. That's probably going to be as close as we can get. 5.23. Why did it go up there? I went down. Yep, 5.23. This thing's all over the place. There we go. 5.23 is going to work for us. And that is going to take care of our main panel setup, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, folks, that takes us into our push and start checklist. But before we do that, we need to start the APU, which is pretty straightforward. We're going to flip on the fuel pumps here. I forget which one it is for the APU, so sorry, my bad. We don't need the center fuel pumps. There's no fuel in there. We're going to left click once, left click twice, and on she goes. We'll let that take a minute to spin up there. And while it's doing that, let's consider a couple things for our pushback and start checklist. Passenger boarding has been completed. Passenger doors are closed and locked. If you want to verify that, you can hop down here. You can go to your doors page, and you can see it says open, which means my radios keep switches yelling in my ear, which means if you click it, it's going to open the door. Okay, and then all of those say the same thing. So our doors are closed. There should be like a doors page, shouldn't there? There's not. You got systems. Right, and then you got engine, and that's it. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So doors are good. We'll go back over to the ground connections page for the moment. We do have clearance for push. Throttles are in the idle position. Start levers are in the off position. Packs need to go into the off position. And you can see our APU's up and running. So we're going to send the power out now. Bam, and then packs need to be off. So right click both of the packs. Let's turn the ground power off at this point. Just right click it and then you're good to go. And then APU is running. Bleed air pressure has been checked. Fuel pumps are on. Anti-collision light is on. We're not ready to release the parking brake yet. So we're just about ready for that pushback. But we do want to come down here. We want to disconnect these. Remove the pitot covers. And remove the wheel chocks. And I'm just going to double check my ACARs. It did not say that we undid the parking brakes, which is good because I hate when it does that. And that takes us right where we need to be, except that we want to have a different view because staring at that thing's getting boring. So prepare for pushback and departure. Yes, we want to request pushback. And we're going to push with our tail left and our nose to the right. So let's see if it even gives us an option here. So far, no. You can see they moved the jetway for us. That was nice of them. Let's try to clear my throat a little.
Okay, we're ready for pushback.
Sweet, so are we. Let's do it. So by now you guys should have seen a couple videos with the 747-800 using FS2 crew. I used to use it once in a while on the 737. I'm getting to like it more and more, but I'd like to know your guys' thoughts. Do you want to see some more flights with the FS2 crew on the 737? I'd be curious to know. Okay, just waiting on these guys, and they are slow. I'm going to put ACARs up so I can see that it starts when I release the brake. Are they waiting on me for something? On the 747, I've had some issues with it restarting the... prepare for pushback and departure. Yes, I want to request pushback. Oh, I'm going to do the quick edit. Stand by. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up. No, you know what? I'm just going to push back straight. That's all.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
There we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So the reason I went with the straight pushback, you guys, was because I don't want to go in slew mode and have it mess with the ACARs, because you cannot go into slew mode while you're running your ACARs, at least not from Mac Air. So keep that in mind if you think about doing that quick edit on there. All right, let's take care of engine start here. Start. We're going to move the starter for number 2 to ground by left clicking it. There it is. And if you look down here, you're going to see the N2 is going to start spinning up. Now, there seems to be some debate about this. The manual says 15. I've had people tell me 20. I've had people tell me 25. Which is it? I'm going to go to 25 today because it slows down at 25. Alright, so N2 is the inner fan blade. It's the high pressure spool. And N1 is the outer fan blade, or the low pressure spool. And it's like the difference between the two has to do with something. I don't fully understand that. I'm not a real world 737 pilot, or for that matter, a turbine engine pilot, jet engine pilot, period. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't know. Somebody knows better than I do. Feel free to throw it in the comments. I always appreciate that. And I mean that. Literally. I really do. I appreciate it. Which one's the legs page? There it is. Legs page. Alright, that takes care of engine 1. She's still pushing?
Set parking brakes.
Where did we just stop? Seriously? That's a weird place to stop. I will make
your confirmation for good engine start.
I will have to make it a point to I kind of feel like that's, I feel cheated on that one. I'm gonna have to make it a point to edit pushback stuff prior to setting up ACARs so that we can have a proper pushback, because that's just kind of pathetic. But on the upside, at least I know where we're going, or at least I think I know where we're going. Just waiting on 25 here. Oh, I completely missed a step. Not in starting. That's alright, we'll do it here. I've been doing it properly with the 747, which has been great, but I missed it just now, and that is our taxi and departure. So you actually do it before you push back. I need to write it on this checklist or something. But if we do use FS2 crew on this, if that's what you guys want to do, then we will, come on, brain, work. Then I won't miss it. How's that? There we go. Enough said. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff we need to brief that we didn't brief yet, and it's all part of that departure briefing. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to turn off the APU. There we go. Did I do it right? Did I do something wrong? Huh, I wonder why I did that. That must have been me. I must have clicked it wrong or something. Okay, moving on. Let's take care of our departure briefing. They can sit and wait on us out there. Okay. Move this out of the way for a minute, and we'll take a look at our flight plan. Alright. You can see I've been using this, obviously. We're using Sim Toolkit Pro still. Absolutely love this program, and it's free, folks, so check it out. KPAE to KMFR. 349 miles in the air is what we're looking at. Our planned fuel for today, trip fuel is 5,105 pounds, contingency fuel of 1317. Bring it all the way down here to a block fuel or release fuel 15,335. And it seems like I cannot find a freaking ATC frequency that is not being used right now because it keeps yapping in my ears. And I don't want to hear it right now. Moving on to our routing down here. It's direct to Seattle VOR, then J70 to Elma, J589 to CVO, and so on. Our weather today, the wind is currently 070 at 7 knots. The skies are overcast, as you can see, and it is a little rainy, but we don't have any thunderstorms in the area. Altimeter is 3018. Moving on down the list here. We're I don't know if we're late or on time on our departure or what. I don't remember. I set the time and then forgot. 133 packs on board today, and that's gonna wrap it up. We do have there are some NOTAMs, but none of them that are applicable to us, so I'm not worried about those. Taking a look at our charts now. We push straight back here, so we are taking runway 34 left. We're gonna flip a UE to the left here and take Juliet down to Alpha, and then Alpha down to hold short of runway 34 left. ATIS is gonna be on 128.65, clearance on 127.175, and ground on 21.8. For our takeoff today, it's gonna be a standard left seat departure. We are going to use the auto throttles and the takeoff and go around mode. If we have any failures or alarms prior to V1, I will immediately abort the takeoff. We will apply full reverse thrust and full braking. We will exit the runway when it's safe to do so and contact ATC and figure it out from there. If we have any type of failure or alarm after V1, short of something catastrophic like both engines failing, we will continue the departure and we will climb out to, you know what, I didn't check my engine out fix, but we will find an engine out fix. If we're short an engine, we'll get out there, we'll get into a holding pattern, and we'll work the problem. How's that sound? Make sense to everybody? Okay, no noise abatement procedures for us to worry about. We've already taken a look at our MCP settings for takeoff. No, I don't want a complete flight. I just want this to go away. I do this all the time on this. I click it. Like, see? It's like, where's the... There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, so our course is set to 249, and that is supposed to be our course to the Seattle VOR. We'll be departing on runway 34 and heading 343 degrees. Indicated airspeed is set to V2+5, and we've set our initial altitude at flight level 350. That's pretty much everything, folks. Let's hope I get that a little smoother. I'm doing a different format for my briefings, and so it's a little rough around the edges. Well, quite frankly, folks, I'm not overly pleased with how my briefing went, but I'm hoping to get a little smoother and a little bit better at that. Moving on to our after start checklist here. Engine generators need to be on. We already did that, which allowed us to turn off the APU. If we go up top here, we need our probe heat to come on. And while we're here, let's make sure that yaw damper comes on as well. This is driving me nuts, you guys. I keep changing the frequency, like trying to go to just a random frequency, and I keep getting yapped at in my ear, and it's driving me crazy. Okay, moving on. Probe heat's good. Anti-ice as required. We probably don't need it right now. What's our outside air temperature? Is plus 11, but we're kind of right on the edge of it, aren't we? It's wet out. It's cold out. You know what? Let's put it on for the moment. Let's just throw it on just in case. You know what? No, we can't. The temperature's too high, but we need to watch it closely on departure. How's that sound? Okay, engine bleeds need to be on. That's these two down here. Packs go to auto. Left click once, research fan to auto. APU bleed needs to go off. APU switch is already off. External lights as required. We'll throw the logo on in case it starts to get dark. Wing lights come on. We'll leave the strobe light where it's at for now. Taxi light's going to need to come on. Master caution light should be off. It is. Check the recall. Everything looks good. And that is going to complete our after start checklist. Alright folks, let's take care of this taxi checklist now. The taxi clearance has been obtained. The ground crew has given us the salute and they're out of here. Let's put our flaps. We did flaps 5. There we go. Man, my sounds are just horrible right now. I had a huge issue with my speakers this morning. Now I don't know what's what anymore. Brakes are checked. Flaps are set. And that's it for our before taxi checklist. So let's jump to the proper view here. Track hour coming on a little jump. There it is. That was a big jump. Let's put that down. I feel like we're sitting really high here. I don't know. Let's get a little thrust in there. Those other two, take the brakes off. It moves a lot better. So the thing that started the whole issue with my sound today was I wasn't getting any engine sounds from the aircraft. Oh, easy there now. D. Why is that not what I'm expecting it to be? We should be seeing A, not D, right? I don't see D. Oh, there's D there. We need to take J, which is the one we're on. Okay. So D should be that first one. A should be the next one. But there's no sign for A here. Is there? J. That's a little ridiculous. Those signs are definitely wrong. Oh well, we're going this way because we know we need to go down to 3-4, right? Woo! Used up that whole taxiway, didn't we? Nope, that's not right. That's the wrong way. How on earth did I get so turned around here? Yep, I know exactly where I'm at right now. Wow, so I made myself look a fool on that. So I'm going to get my taxi squared away and then I'll see you guys at the end of the runway because I'm an idiot. Alrighty folks, so I'm kind of an idiot. That's why we ended up in the wrong place there. But let's go ahead and take care of our before takeoff checklist. Alright. Master caution light is off. Recall has been checked, but we'll check it again anyway. There we go. And flight controls are checked. Flaps are set. Trim is checked and set. Just trying to keep it straight here while I'm reading something. Flight directors are on. Takeoff briefing is completed. And that just leaves us with getting lights on and transponder and all that. So, auto throttle is already armed. Transponder is... Come on, there we go. TARA, fantastic. Let's turn the weather radar on, because that's what we need to do. And let's turn the traffic on, because that's a good idea. And we'll leave this right where it's at. Yeah. It came to a complete stop. Come on. We're super light. There's no reason for that, in my opinion. Okay. We're going to roll right into this. I'm done messing around with it here. In case you haven't noticed. All those on, those on, those on, and strobe lights, which are way over here, right? No. This one. Strobe and steady. There we go. And clear on the left. Clear on the right. Here we go. We're going to roll right into this, folks. Moving right along, eh? Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. We should have plenty of runway to work with, but we still don't want to use up too much trying to get lined up here, so take it easy. I don't know why it's getting choppy all of a sudden. It was fine and now it's choppy. Doesn't make sense, does it? I don't understand FSX, P3D, all that. There's always problems. There's always something. Let's go right into it. Take off. Oh, my toga's not working. Where's the hidden spot? There we go. Toga. Thrust ref. For some reason my thrust ref button didn't work. That's awesome. Nothing like things not working right, huh? Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. Let's go. Let's get this bird in the air.
V1.
Oh, man, I'm all over the place. Come on, get up in the air. It's safer up here. Positive rate of climb, gear coming up. All right, that was ugly. That was seriously ugly. I don't know why my toga button didn't work. I don't understand that. I really hate when that happens. To be honest with you, it just when things don't go the way they're supposed to. It's been a rough morning for me, guys. And now we're getting traffic warnings because all the traffic is landing the wrong way. Because that makes sense, right? At least they're below us already.
Traffic.
Climb thrust. Let's go ahead and bring this down. Flaps going to 1. Try to trim it out. Get her to speed up a little here. I know the flight director is saying otherwise, believe me. We didn't arm LNAV or VNAV. We're going to arm that for now, and we're going to start our turn here. Let's get the flaps all the way up.
Traffic.
Now we can start climbing. There we go. Flaps coming the rest of the way up here. It is so hot in my little office here right now, like it's ridiculous. Why is every single AI friggin' aircraft landing on the wrong runway? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, let's see if we can arm LNAV. Yeah, probably not. Oh, we can. Fantastic. Alright, let's swing it all the way around here. I don't know why it doesn't have like a turnaround point. Like if you look on our legs page, come on, there we go. It just says SEA, but it doesn't show us. Working towards it. Come on, where are you going there? I'm trying to do too many things at once. Let's get the autopilot on here. There we go. Is she gonna come all the way around? Track iron coming off. There we go. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's take care of our after takeoff checklist. Positive climb gear is up. We can put it in the off position now. We can turn off the auto brakes. Flaps are up. We're looking good there. And other than Let's see, anything else? Am I missing anything? Nope, just when we cross 18,000 feet. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it, it is time for some of that obligatory elevator music. Alright folks, we're going to be on our top of descent in 2 shakes of a turkey's tail, so we got a little bit of housekeeping to take care of here. As far as preparing for the descent in this aircraft, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Hold on, I'm messing with my microphone again. I think I need to get a new microphone. Okay, so for the descent, you're monitoring the speed, transition altitude, 10,000 feet, all that. That's all it's really got on this checklist, but there are a few things we actually need to take care of. First of all, we need to make sure we set our altitude, right? So when I look at my approach chart, I need to come in at 7,000 feet. No, I'm going to intercept at 3,900 feet. So I'm going to take this all the way down because we're not flying. This is going to be tricky, actually. No, you know what? I'm going to take it down to 10,000 to start with. Let me tell you why. Because we're flying into the mountains here. And because I don't have an arrival, which is actually kind of strange for this airfield when you think about it, because I don't have an arrival and because I got clouds and all of that, I want to make sure I don't fly into a mountain because that would be really bad. So we're going to start at 10,000 feet and then we'll go from there. Now we don't need to do anything to get the aircraft to descend. It will do it on its own once it reaches the top of descent. Okay. Altimeters will be changed at 18,000 feet. Looking at, well, you know what? We need to do the approach brief anyway. So why don't we go ahead and do that, and that'll help us out a little further. So bring this over here. And then the sound changes in the background because for some reason my computer's just stupid, I guess. Okay, it's going to be the ILS runway 14 approach into Rogue Valley International. The ATIS is on 127.25. Cascade approach on 124.3. Seattle Center on 24.85. The tower is a CTAF on 19.4. Ground is 121.8. Localizer frequency is 110.3. I can't talk. Final approach course of 143 degrees. Glide slope intercept at Osage, 3,900 feet. Decision altitude, it says conditional, and I didn't see specifically why it's conditional, but 1,503 feet. That's on the, oh, my brain won't work. Well, it's 200 feet AGL, MSL is what it is, 1,503 feet. Airport elevation is 1,335 feet, touchdown zone at 1,303 feet. If we have a missed approach, we climb to 6,600 feet on IMFR southeast course to Jailock, 1.6 miles from IMFR. IMFR is the VOR there. And then it's a climbing right turn on heading 350 and on OED VOR radial 160 to OED VOR. Hold, continue climb in the hold to 6,600. Transition levels is flight level 180. So taking a look, and I'm going to zoom it in for you here. For our minimum safe altitude, it's outlined here as well. That's what these dark brown lines are for. So it's 8,300 feet over here, 7,000 feet as we're coming in back here at Sammy. And then it's 10,700 feet in this quadrant over here, and it's 8,800 on the other side. Alright, so in at Sammy, down to Fista, Amasi, Osage, Pumi, and then on in from there. You can see the missed approach here. It's that climbing right turn, and then it's back out to the OED VOR. And IMFR is not the, it's not the VOR. IMFR is the, I believe, the, man, if my brain will start to work, that'd be great. I'm distracted. It is the identifier for the localizer. There we go. I got it. Okay. Let's look at our vertical profile page here. So 7,000 is Sammy, at Fista 5,700, Amasi 4,600, down to 39 in glide slope intercept at 3,900 at Osage, and then it looks like it's a quick drop here to 2,660. There's a couple of quick drops in there. You know what? I don't recall seeing anything like that before. Maybe that's just telling you what the terrain's doing. Happy lights on the right hand side, Mauser lights. There's your missed approach, straight in landing for runway 14, decision altitude 1,503 feet, and I think that's about all we need. We got plenty of runway visual range, all of that stuff. So wow, that was probably one of the worst briefs that I have ever done. Let's get this out of the way here before I embarrass myself any further. We want to make sure that a local localizer frequency 110.3 is in our nav radio. Helps if you hit the right button. So 110.3, I've already put it in standby. We'll leave it there. Actually, no, I'm going to switch it over. No, I'm going to leave it there. But once we switch it over, I want to put in the OED VOR as the secondary, which will be 113.6. So that's something to keep in mind. And then that's it. The aircraft will start its descent here in a little over 20 nautical miles. We'll be on our way, and I'll see you guys back on here when we're getting ready to fly the approach. Alrighty, folks, we're about 10 nautical miles from Sammy, and I went ahead and brought you back on here because, as you can see, we're coming in right over the mountains, and yeah, it's a little iffy almost. I mean, look at this. We're a lot lower than I would have expected. I am genuinely astounded that there is no arrival procedure for this airport or this runway. Well, there's no arrivals, period. They don't have any stars to fly this aircraft in here unless they don't typically fly 737s in here. I don't know, to be honest with you. Anyway, let's take care of our arrival checklist. Our destination runway has obviously been selected. It's going to be runway 14. Our approach is in the FMC as required. We are on the initial reference page. We're going to be landing 129 knots, flaps 40. It's a pretty short runway, so ILS is 110.30, which we have changed on our nav1, and we've changed our backup frequency to the OED VOR, so we're pretty good to go on that. That's our arrival checklist, and we might as well take care of the approach checklist now. The approach is selected and briefed. The nav radios are set for the approach. We want to be at 180 when we intercept, which we should be alright for that. Landing lights are on. Flaps are going to be flaps full. We already mentioned that. We're almost at 7,000. Boy, it's coming in tight over these. Auto brake is set. We're going to use auto brake 2. Spoilers are armed. Engine start switches need to go to continuous. Right click them each once. There we go. And then once we get on the final fix and all that, we'll be good to go. We did set our course in here, 143 degrees, so we're going to go on that. Let's go ahead and get that first setting of flaps in. In fact, we can, yeah, that'll work. And that'll take us to 178, so we're actually going to take over the speed here. Speed intervene. We're going to keep that at 180. And we're going to go flaps 2. Here we are turning in. Let's go ahead and hit the localizer switch. And it picked that up immediately, so we can hit the approach switch as well, which I can't seem to find. There we go. Boy, I haven't flown with this configuration. Wow, boy, it grabbed that glide slope right away too, didn't it? Okay, alright. So we're on the glide slope. Alright, so we want to get down to, what do we say, 129, so 134. Wow. I can't believe it grabbed that glide slope right away like that. Whew, that is a steep approach over those mountains, isn't it? Look at that. Alright, we're coming up on the glide slope now. Well, that'll make your passengers nervous, won't it? I haven't thrown out speed brakes yet. We're cutting it a little tight on there, but I think we'll be alright. So let's bring this all the way down to, what did we say? 129, 134. I'm going to bring it to 150 for the moment. We still got a little ways to go here. Not too far, I guess. Like to get a little more flaps in there. Throw the gear out here in just a second. Once we get our speed down just a little bit more, we'll put the gear out and we'll go to flaps 5, or flaps 10 I mean. Having a hard time clearing my throat there. I can just make out the runway up there, so we're looking alright. I mean, it's a little crazy coming in there, huh? Need that speed to just come on down. It's inching its way down. Alright, we can bring the gear down now. Go to flaps 10. And I really hope the sound is not bad for you guys. It has been pretty atrocious for me today. Next setting of flaps. Looking good. Bring this all the way to 134 now. Another setting of flaps coming in. That's going to put us at, what, 20? No, 25. I forget all the flap numbers here. You can probably see the PAPI lights there now. They are not on the appropriate side of the runway. Well, maybe they are. Left side lights. Yeah, you know what? I've been saying that wrong. Surprised nobody called me out on that. Let's go full flaps here. Let's get our view proper. Track hour coming on a little jump here. There it is. I don't know why it makes those crazy jumps like that. Just let the aircraft just settle for a second. It's going to need to crank up the thrust and all that, and I'm just going to let it do its thing for a second. That's how I like to fly it. So I could probably fly it myself, but you guys know how it is. Alright, she's starting to settle a little now. Just kind of keep an eye on it. Let's go ahead and you might get a jump here. I'd take track IR off for a second. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's cut the autopilot off. There we go. And let's cut the auto throttle off. Oh, off and leave it off. You don't have to reset that one. She sort of drifted to the right as soon as I did that, huh? Alright, looking pretty good there. Bring that thrust back just a little. Alright, looking good. Holding glide slope, 700 feet per minute, nice. Just trying to get my everything adjusted here. So this new yoke, I'm getting used to it a little bit here. Alright, let's take care of this landing. Well, it's just the approach checklist. I still think there should be a landing checklist. Flaps are down, gear is down. Gear down 3 green, flaps 40. A little gust of wind there. Oh yeah, it's getting a little bouncy there. You see that? Look at that. A little updraft or something. Wind's kind of bouncing us all over the place. That's going to make this more fun, isn't it? Auto brake set to 2. Spoilers are armed. We're clear to land. Looking pretty good.
1,000.
Just brought in a little throttle there, get us back on glide slope. There it is. Come on. There we go. Looking good. Not bad. Not bad for an amateur, huh? Just a little left there.
400.
good.
300. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, baby, settle. There we go. That was a little rough for us, but whew. I don't know what my landing rate was. A little rough. A little rougher than I usually do. But not horrible. Not horrible. Oh, those brakes are not even. I've been trying to adjust those forever. Turn the terrain mode off. And let's start taxiing over to the terminal here. Just gonna take these bad boys off here. Off. Taxi light can stay on. Those can go to off. Strobes can go down there where they belong. Not my best landing. Most definitely not my best landing. Auto brakes are still on. It says minus 120 feet per minute. That's not terrible. Can we cross there? Where do we cross this runway at? Looks like we're going to have to taxi on the runway. Good lord, the thrust is working, isn't it? Alright, well, we'll just taxi down the runway. Oh, is that the terminal there? Which one's the terminal? I think it's this one. That's where we got a 737. That's where we're going to go. Alright, speed brakes can come down. Finish bringing those flaps up. There we go. Looking good. Go ahead and start the APU. And take a look at our after landing checklist. Speed brake lever is up, flaps are up. Probe heat can go off. That is all the way up here. There we go. Probe heat is off. This is why it helps. Come in. This is why somebody's coming in while I'm recording here. This is why it helps to have a first officer in here. What else? Flaps are up. Engine start switches are in the off position. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are off. Flight directors can go off. Transponder to standby. Let's get her around the corner here and then we'll take care of those real quick. I'll finish that up and then I will see you guys back here shortly and we will take care of the shutdown checklist. Alright, so apparently they weren't expecting us because we don't have a parking space. We're just going to park it right here on the tarmac and everybody can jump out the doors. That'll work fine for me. Let's go ahead and jump into our shutdown and secure checklist. Brakes are on. Start levers can go to the cutoff position, but before we do that we need to make sure the APU is powering the aircraft. Now we can shut down 1 and 2. Fantastic. Ground power can go on at this point, so that's just a matter of you pull it up on here, ground connections, set the wheel chocks, connect the ground power, all that. We won't put pitot tubes on yet. So ground power is now connected, so we can turn it on. Left click. There we go. Send that back, and we can turn off the APU. Good stuff. Doors and stairs open. We're not going to do that right now, just because GSX doesn't agree with our space here. It did not go to ground power for some reason. That was weird. What else we got here? Window heat can go off. Let's jump up to this overhead real quick. So window heat can go off. Yaw dampers already went off. These two guys can go off. Packs can go off. That's not off. That's on. Off. Want to make sure the APU bleed is on. I don't know why I hit the trip accidentally. What else we got? ISO valve closed all the way up. My bad. External lighting off, and then it's battery and ground power off. So emergency lights, right click again, that turns those off. Battery, right click again, that turns that off. Ground power off, and that's going to wrap it up for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a good time with this flight. I did. I do apologize that the sound is off. If it's really, really bad, I guess I'll debate whether or not to even post the video. But if you're watching it and you're listening to me apologize, then obviously it didn't seem that bad. I don't know. But I may need a new microphone. I don't know what the deal is, but I'll get it figured out at some point here. In the meantime, it was a good flight. Not too bad a landing. That reminds me, I do need to take care of ACARS real quick. Stop the flights. PIREP is ready. File the PIREP. There it is. It's been filed. Close the ACARS. Fantastic. All right, so we are done with this flight. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. If you smash on the subscribe button, try and get us over 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Don't forget to hit the little bell if you want notifications whenever I upload a video. Give the video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up I get, the more I know I'm doing what you guys want me to. And give me some feedback on the video as well. Constructive, though. Sometimes guys go in there and you say really jerky things, and I just don't want to hear that. So please don't bother. Other than that, we are done. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, keep the blue side up, unless otherwise instructed by ATC. God bless you all, and have a fantastic day.